Welcome to the Mind Spark, bringing you the latest news from around the world. In a landmark decision that sent shockwaves through the political landscape, the Supreme Court struck down former President Donald Trump's controversial tariff plan. The justice's ruling was not only a significant legal event, but also a pivotal moment in the ongoing debate over the balance of power between the executive and legislative branches of government. The decision was closely watched by lawmakers, business leaders, and citizens alike, as it addressed fundamental questions about how far a president can go in shaping economic policy without congressional approval. The court's opinion emphasized the critical need for legislative backing when it comes to sweeping economic measures that impact the entire nation. By highlighting the importance of checks and balances, the justices reinforced the idea that major policy changes, especially those affecting trade and industry, require the input and consent of Congress, not just the stroke of a presidential pen. The ruling, delivered with a decisive 6-3 majority, underscored the judiciary's essential role in checking executive overreach. The majority opinion made clear that the Constitution grants Congress, not the president, the primary authority to regulate commerce with foreign nations, reaffirming a foundational principle of American governance. Trump's tariffs, which were introduced with the stated goal of protecting American industries and jobs, faced criticism from both sides of the aisle for bypassing the legislative process. Many argued that such sweeping economic actions should be subject to public debate and congressional scrutiny rather than being enacted unilaterally by the executive branch. Legal experts noted that this decision could set a powerful precedent, recalibrating the boundaries of executive authority for future administrations. Some analysts suggested that the ruling might prompt presidents to work more closely with Congress on major policy initiatives, while others warned it could lead to new legal battles over the limits of presidential power. For Trump supporters, the Supreme Court's decision was a significant blow, dashing hopes that the tariffs would remain in place to protect American jobs and industries. Many expressed frustration, feeling that the judiciary had undermined the president's efforts to put America first. For critics of the tariff plan, however, the ruling was celebrated as a major victory for the rule of law and constitutional checks and balances. Advocates argued that the decision restored proper oversight and accountability to the policymaking process. The decision immediately spurred intense discussions across the country about the judiciary's role in shaping executive power. Political analysts and commentators debated what the ruling would mean for future presidents and the ongoing tug-of-war between the branches of government. As the dust settled, the nation braced for both the political and economic fallout. Investors, business owners, and workers all wondered how the decision would affect trade, jobs, and the broader economy in the months ahead. The timing of the Supreme Court's ruling only intensified ongoing debates over the limits of presidential power, setting the stage for further political battles and legal challenges in the future. Washington buzzed with reactions to the Supreme Court's decision. On Capitol Hill, lawmakers saw it as a check on executive overreach, while others warned of economic disruptions. The ruling dominated news cycles, with analysts offering varied interpretations. President Biden acknowledged the decision as a testament to robust governance. Public reaction was divided. Some celebrated it as a victory for constitutional governance. Critics feared it could undermine efforts to protect domestic industries. Social media exploded with debates reflecting polarized views. It was clear this was more than a legal decision. It would shape the political landscape. The ruling reminded of the delicate balance of power in American democracy. The Supreme Court's decision holds significant legal and political weight, reaffirming the separation of powers. It underscores the importance of congressional authority in trade and economic policy. The ruling could influence future cases, setting a precedent that limits presidential overreach. Politically, it reverberated through both parties, reshaping dynamics and legislative priorities. For Democrats, it validated concerns about Trump's executive powers. For Republicans, it posed a dilemma. The judiciary's role in maintaining power balance was highlighted. The decision is a reminder of the judiciary's role in safeguarding democratic principles. It reaffirms constitutional mechanisms ensuring balanced government. The economic implications of Trump's tariff plan and the Supreme Court ruling are profound, touching nearly every sector of the American economy. This decision marks a pivotal moment, not just for policymakers, but for businesses, workers, and consumers across the nation. Initially intended to bolster American industries and protect domestic jobs, the tariffs led to higher consumer costs and strained trade relations with key partners. Many American manufacturers faced increased expenses for imported materials, which in turn raised prices for everyday goods. Small businesses in particular struggled to absorb these costs, sometimes passing them on to consumers or cutting back on hiring. With the court's decision, new questions arise about the future direction of American trade policy. Will the government continue to use tariffs as a tool for economic leverage, or will it seek alternative strategies to support domestic industries? The ruling could pave the way for more stable and predictable trade relations, but it also raises concerns about how best to protect vulnerable industries from foreign competition. Some worry that without tariffs, certain sectors may struggle to compete globally. For consumers, the impact is tangible. Shoppers may notice changes in prices for goods affected by the tariffs, from electronics to groceries. While some products could become more affordable, others might remain costly as businesses adjust to the new landscape. Economists suggest that, over the long term, consumers could benefit from a more open and competitive market. However, the short-term impacts are mixed, with some industries facing uncertainty and others poised for growth. The Supreme Court ruling also affects international trade negotiations, emphasizing the importance of diplomatic solutions over unilateral actions. This could encourage stronger alliances and more comprehensive trade agreements. This shift in approach may lead to more robust and mutually beneficial trade agreements, though it could also slow the pace of policy implementation as stakeholders seek consensus. Ultimately, the decision has far-reaching economic consequences, requiring a careful balance between protecting domestic interests and adapting to global realities. As the nation moves forward, the effects of this ruling will continue to shape the economic landscape for years to come. The Supreme Court's decision carries significant implications for American democracy, shaping not only the legal landscape but also the very foundation of how our government operates. This ruling is more than a moment in judicial history. It is a pivotal event that will echo through the halls of power and the lives of everyday Americans for years to come. It reinforces the separation of powers, highlighting the distinct and essential roles that each branch of government must play. The decision serves as a powerful reminder that no single branch can dominate or overstep its bounds without consequences, ensuring a balanced system where authority is shared and checked. The ruling underscores the necessity of checks and balances, which are at the heart of our democratic ideals. By maintaining these safeguards, the court helps prevent the concentration of power and protects the freedoms and rights of citizens, ensuring that democracy remains resilient and responsive. For Congress, this decision is a clear call to action, urging lawmakers to assert their constitutional authority, especially in matters of economic policy and national governance. It challenges legislators to step up, engage in robust debate, and craft policies that reflect the will of the people. The decision could invigorate legislative debates and foster more collaborative policymaking, encouraging bipartisan efforts and thoughtful compromise. It opens the door for Congress to reclaim its role as a central force in shaping the nation's future. At the same time, it sends a clear message about the limits of presidential power, upholding the constitutional principles that prevent any one leader from wielding unchecked authority. This balance is crucial for maintaining the integrity of our democracy. The ruling is more than a legal victory. It is a reaffirmation of the core values that define American democracy: fairness, accountability, and the rule of law. It inspires confidence in our institutions and reminds citizens that their voices and rights are protected. By upholding the Constitution, the court fortifies the nation's commitment to accountable governance, ensuring that leaders remain answerable to the people and to the foundational laws of the land. Ultimately, the decision underscores the enduring importance of a government bound by the rule of law, a principle that has guided the United States since its founding and will continue to safeguard its democracy for generations to come. The ruling sparks renewed discussion about Congress's role in trade policy. Historically, Congress regulates commerce, but the executive has assumed a larger role. The decision reasserts congressional authority, urging lawmakers to engage in trade agreements. It highlights the necessity for legislative involvement in decisions with economic ramifications. Congress faces the challenge of crafting comprehensive trade policies reflecting national interests. This requires collaboration, negotiation, and bipartisan dialogue. The decision emphasizes transparency and accountability in trade policymaking. It reaffirms Congress's vital role in shaping trade policy aligned with national values. The decision elicited diverse reactions, reflecting varied perspectives on trade policy and presidential authority. For some, it's a celebration of consumer rights and economic freedom. Opponents of the tariffs see it as protection from arbitrary price increases. Supporters of the tariffs worry about the impact on domestic industries. Farmers and manufacturers fear competition without tariff protection. Social media became a battleground for debates, highlighting trade policy's personal resonance. The ruling prompted re-evaluation of government-citizen relationships and trade's role. Diverse responses underscore the complexity of balancing economic interests with democratic principles. The challenge will continue to shape public discourse. The ruling offers a reflection on the importance of checks and balances in governance. It reaffirms that no branch should possess unchecked power, essential for democracy. The decision highlights the Constitution as a living document, preserving democratic values. By curbing executive authority, the court reinforces equitable power distribution. This ensures branches act as counterweights, safeguarding people's interests. The ruling underscores accountability and transparency in government actions. It highlights the judiciary's role as a guardian of constitutional principles. Citizens play a crucial role in holding government accountable and shaping the future. The decision is a reaffirmation of checks and balances, a testament to democratic resilience.